My name's Jacob. A lizard just ran right by me. That's cute. I am really excited to see what applications LLMs and other generative AI technologies get used in offline situations. One application that comes to my mind is in the book Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. They send this guy to another solar system to try to save humanity. With these astronauts that they send, they essentially store like all of humanity's data. They might possibly need it. Literally, they took everything they could, right? And that would be petabytes and petabytes of data. But if you had a well-trained LLM, in my mind, I almost see LLM as a type of compression of like, I can glean the world's information, and when asked, I can recall some of that. So types of applications like that, where you're off-grid, you may not have access to something, you may need to talk to someone and be able to like talk your thoughts out. Like, I don't know what to search for. Example I see is like, hey, I'm out with my buddies dirt biking, someone goes down, we don't have cell service. You pull out your emergency medical app and it has information about first aid, how to do first aid, but you turn it on and it's a finely tuned LLM that can be conversational. So you can say, hey, what happened? And you can have a conversation. You can set the phone down next to your buddy, next to you, and say, hey, my buddy broke his leg, and it would know to just ask follow-on questions. Where did he break his leg? Is the bone poking out? Is there bleeding? And it could walk you through those first steps. An on-call therapist, eventually it could be well trained enough to do that, where it's like, hey, I'm having a panic attack, talk me down. Or I'm going into shock, I'm having hypothermia, and it can walk you through what to do. Obviously, astronauts, like I said, it could potentially be a good use case for that. When you're on the lake, hey, my engine's not working, walk me through troubleshooting step for a Mercury 50 engine. Another thought I had was, LLMs are getting really good at translation. So if you're going to be off grid, the LLM that could help you translate with people on the fly. Okay, so there's a few challenges that I see LLMs needing to be able to overcome before they can really be trusted in applications like this. And the first one is accuracy. I'm here at Lake Powell, and a few times in Llama 3, I would ask questions like, hey, where should I park my houseboat? What are some good marinas to use? Having come to Lake Powell my whole life, it gave me answers that I knew were incorrect. Like, I asked, where could I park my houseboat for a good stay? And it said, oh, park it at the Glen Canyon Dam. And I personally know that there are really no good houseboat parking places for about an hour's houseboat drive from that location. There are like one or two, but it's not really a place that we're gonna go park at the dam. It's not something you can do. Another example, I asked it where in an emergency, what marinas can I go to? And it listed marinas that had been closed down, and it listed like bogus, completely non-existent marinas. To be able to trust it, it really needs to be accurate. The other thing is them being able to just say, I don't know. Instead of pumping out information that's obviously false, just say, I don't know. And I'm sure that we'll see that in the next year or two, at least. And the last thing that needs to improve is the size. I'm running currently, let's use Llama 3 for example. It runs on my laptop fairly well. It's quick. It's about as fast as I can read it, outputs the text. Yeah, it's fairly slow. On a phone, it's going to be much slower. I'm sure there are a lot of things that they could do. And in this case, if I'm doing an emergency preparedness app, wilderness survival app, a on-call therapist, talk me off a ledge type of an application, you don't need to be trained on the entire world's internet like the major LLMs are. You could do very well, and it would probably be good to just train on a specific subset of the world's information. In my emergency preparedness app, if I only need to know about wilderness survival, you don't need to be trained in African world history in that LLM. So last, I'm going to talk a little bit about the fun that I had playing with ChatGPT on the lake with no internet. So harping back to the points I just barely made, coding on the lake was a lot easier if I used an LLM that was fine-tuned on the type of information I needed. I was using CodeStroll and CodeLlama, and it was super helpful, almost as good as using Google or Stack Overflow. And I find that's generally how I'm working online, is being able to have a conversational partner with my coding assistants is super helpful, and it makes it quick. And so I was able to ask questions that I didn't even know where I wasn't even sure where to start asking those questions. You're just like, how do people rewrite a line in the console? And I've never done that before, so I came into that without any pre-knowledge, and now I'm, working on a little game in the console. So anyway, this has been a really fun conversation for me. I've been thinking about this for a long time. I am interested to know what applications you would be most interested to see an offline LLM use, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Yeah, he's dead.
Don't know how to film fish.